precious name of Jesus. Thanking you again, Lord, for the opportunity to come over into your banquet house, knowing that your banner over us is still love. We ask you, Lord Jesus, to help us to be what we ought to be and forgive us for not being and doing what we ought to do and be. So, Lord, make us whole. Help us, Lord, to redeem the time, knowing that the time is at hand. And Lord, the times that have been won't be no more. So we ask you, Lord Jesus, to look down in your mercy upon America, look down upon our city and our community that we live in our homes, oh God, that we can turn our heads up to you, knowing that we must redeem the time, and redemption time is at hand. So, Lord, have your way through the service this morning. Bless all that are here, all that are on their way. To your hands we commend our spirit as you word our mouth, cleanse our heart, and make us, Lord, have a renewed mind. And we'll give you praise and glory. Remember all those that asked for prayer, that wanted to come and couldn't come. And we, Lord, look unto you, the author and finisher of our faith, in Jesus' name. God's people said, Amen. Amen. All right. I want to say praise the Lord to everybody. How's everybody feeling? All right. Somebody can tell us if they can remember where we are, and I'll tell you where we're going. And before I do that, did I ever give y'all this sheet or no? I never did give y'all that sheet. No? Okay. Well, I will eventually. I thought I had, but I guess I hadn't yet. I guess that was the one I said I was going to print out, and I didn't. Correct?
Yeah. I have that we stopped at Revelation, the 3rd chapter, verse 19.
Okay. All right, so this week, I want to actually start at Revelations, the 17th chapter. And part of this overview that I got here will be part of the study. I did not print it out, and I may end up seeing what we got over here. But nevertheless, you have enough you can see there, possibly, right? If not, come closer. I don't think I can blow it up anymore and make it any clearer than it is. But we'll be talking about this. And Revelation 17 is where I actually want to start out. And it's still dealing with us as the people of God in the world, being connected to what we know Babylon is a type of the world. It's also a type of false spirituality. So this printout that I have, that I will eventually give to you, gives us a lot of information that I think is critical historically and also naturally and spiritually. So, if we look at Revelations, the 17th chapter, and don't quite go by everything you see up here yet, but we'll get there. Revelations, the 17th chapter. You and I have to realize how tied in we are with the world and how much of it occupies us instead of what should occupy us. Because it's so easy to get attached to carnality, isn't it?
It is.
For me and for you, I don't care how much of God's Spirit you got. It's easy to get attached to the carnality state because we're human.
Yes.
We're part of this fleshly thing that we'll never get rid of until we die. And God knows that. He's not holding that against us because he made us. But the thing that he's holding against us is, in a sense, is that we have a free will to choose who we're going to serve.
Exactly.
And that's the point that we, as the saints of God, have to keep ourselves aware of where we stand. It's so easy to get caught up in the moments of life. And at that point in time, the devil knows that we're vulnerable and open. And he'll utilize that to a point that we get caught up in that carnality and we don't go forward anymore. We start going backwards. And our love for God begins to wax colder and colder. And usually we're the last ones to see it. Because that's how deceptive the devil is in our lives. And I say all our lives, I mean all of us. He don't care what position you hold, how long you've been saved, how long you've been in the church, how much you know about the word. It's about being a doer of it. It's about being a doer of it. And this is the critical part that you and I have to take in consideration when he begins to talk about Babylon, and you begin to realize how much we get tied up with the material things of the world, and our focus stays off of God quite often, doesn't it?
Yes.
And we sometimes we neglect to realize how carnal we are until the devil has got us caught up in something. Am I right?
Yes.
Is it making sense so far?
Yes.
Everybody with me? Huh?
Yes.
All right. So, here we are. Revelation 17. Again, we'll be going back and forth. Here a little, there a little. All right? So now, these vials are open. We know we got 7 seals. We got 7 trumpets. We got 7 vials and bowls, right? So 7 is God's number of what? Completion. So it's his finished work being done. At this point in time, it is a time that God is beginning to show us that he's holding back as much of his wrath as possible. And in certain points, it seems that he's given even the sinner still an opportunity to come to God. So let's look at it. Verse 1, Revelation 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Remember, when he talks about this great whore, he's talking about the whole system. The whole system. And if we go back some, you remember he called the woman, the false portion of it, a whore, right? Y'all remember that? Everybody remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't have to really go back, do I? Do I?
No, sir.
Okay. So, in that case, He said, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And right now, God is in a portion or a state that our nations are being judged. We're not at the point where he's poured out this portion completely at all, but you can see some of the things set in line, and how it could easily happen just like that. Are you keeping up with current events? Or are you just ignoring the signs of the time that we hear on the news? I hear people at work say, I'm tired of hearing the news. Everything's always negative. It's going to be negative. But we still need to pay attention to a lot of it. It's good reason. Because God is showing us where we stand. Am I right?
Yes.
You had something you want?
It's not just in the news.
Yeah.
It's right in our face.
That too.
I don't care where we are.
Yeah.
In our homes.
Mm-hmm.
In the store.
Yeah.
Wherever we go, it's right there.
Yeah.
What's in the news is in our presence every single day of the week.
It's life.
But see, that deception won't let us see it when it's right here at Bows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We look off and we look on. We'll conform. We get familiarized.
Right.
So it's the norm.
Yeah.
The devil make it the norm for us.
Sure.
You see?
Sure.
But if we hear it on the news, and it's right there, that same deception is right in my face.
Okay.
And I got to make sure whatever deception spirit that's in me has got to come out.
Right.
I can't judge the news when it's in me.
Right.
I can't judge the news when it's in the schools. I can't judge the news when it's in the police department.
Right.
I can't judge the news when it's at the city hall. It's at the store.
Yeah.
It's IRS. It's our company we work for.
The system.
It's everywhere. He just said it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. You said the great whore.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And see, that's what the devil wants us to do.
Right.
He wants us to feel comfortable. That's how he got Eve.
Absolutely.
You see, you get
Conformity.
comfortable with where you are.
Yeah.
And you forget.
Right.
I forget.
Yeah.
You see, because I'm looking at it, like you just stated,
Right.
until something happens.
Till something happens.
Then we'll see where we stand.
That's
You
right.
see, because we get a little nervous.
Yeah. And this is the point where you and I, as saints of God, the Bible's telling me all the time to guard my heart with all diligence. But I'm loose.
Yeah.
I'm loose. I'm free with the world. I'm free with being me. I'm free with doing my thing until something gets out of whack.
But we find God's people.
Yeah.
We don't always find God. We
Yeah.
find God immediately. Because we say, Lord, have mercy.
Right. Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But then we find God's people,
Yeah.
the one you run from. You call.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time.
Yeah.
You hear the calls. But you have to be patient
Sure.
and not think evil, and you be patient. You speak with them.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you haven't heard from them in months and years.
Yep. Yep.
As soon as trouble hits,
They run.
find you.
Yeah.
And it make you wonder, well, how do they do that?
Yeah.
The number been there all this time? This building sitting in the same spot,
Right.
but you run in and knock down the door.
Mm-hmm.
But God still gives me and us space, and that's what gives us the patience
Right.
to endure others, because God
Exactly.
has yet given us space.
Right. That's right. But how long will that space be given? That's what we don't know. Because again, we can get caught up in it very easily, very quickly. So as we look in Revelations, the 17th chapter, he's showing us that this system is so active. The Babylon system is also part of the beast system. It's also part of the Antichrist system that we are already in, and it's alive and kicking. But God is setting up a time of judgment for everything. us in America, those that are in Jerusalem and Israel, you see the war going on there, right? You see the war going on in Russia and Ukraine, right?
Yes.
All of this is part of the system that has been in the news, but has been set up and told in the Bible about how God is letting these things happen to get us in a position that God will help us to be ready before it really breaks loose. What you seeing now is just the cup of icing getting ready to be put on the real dessert, shall I say. When we see Israel, we know Israel is our time clock, right?
Yes.
But as we looking at Israel, also look what's going on with the other nations and how America even is enacted in it. Look at our system of how business is transacted every day right here in America, and how we, again, like we talked earlier, are caught so off guard with it that we've got comfortable with our lives and left God out. Talking about even us as the people of God. It's so easy, and we don't see it because we're caught up in us. We look at the time, and God is telling us to redeem the time, but we are not really seeing the time that God is telling us to see. Didn't he tell us to watch as well as pray? And we are so indulged in ourselves and our way of life that we forget God has called us out of the world. But we still are so entangled in the world, we don't think about what God is telling us. We're taking it too easily, too much for granted. And God is still giving us space, isn't he?
Yes.
So listen, Revelation 17, I'll start at verse 1 again. So we know we're not quite at this point, but yet it's in the making. And there came one of the seven angels, verse 1 of Revelation 17, which had the seven vials. This is the last vial. Part of this is set up for God's wrath. It's not quite there yet. But listen, when you see some of these things in action, even today, you know it only takes the press of a button to change things. Am I right?
Yes.
One button can make or break us. You realize that? Mm-hmm. It's an on and off switch, pretty much. If we lost our power grid today, what would happen to America?
Shut down. Completely shut down.
I tell you, what would we do? Huh?
You panic.
We know what it is like being without lights just for a day or two, don't we?
Yeah.
It throws everything off, doesn't
That
it?
nervousness and panic and,
Yeah.
and fear will grip us.
Yeah. When the power grid was shut off for a while in New York, did y'all hear about that before? It's happened more than once.
Oh, yeah.
But every time it shut down, the stock market crashed. What's to do with the stock market? Well, the stock market is the way we value our cash, right? It affects everything in life. Now that the system is built to escalate prices and interest rates and so forth and so on, it's putting everybody in a hardship somehow, some way, isn't it?
It is.
And guess what? If you don't have a job, what happens? You can't pay your bills, right? Most of us don't have the cash flow to pay for everything cash, right?
Yeah.
We got what we call, credit cards? Anybody don't have any debt today, raise your hand. And thank God if you don't.
Jordan.
Jordan don't, well, she don't yet. She don't know she does. But she does. It's set all up for her.
Freedom.
It's set all up. But we get comfortable with what we have too easily and don't think about the emergencies that might happen. Right? None of us get that point too often, do we?
Yeah.
We think about it and it soon just kind of sheds away because life is still fair, kind of, right? Comfortable, right?
Yes.
But there's coming a time, and it's coming so quickly upon us that it's going to catch a lot of us unaware. We hear it often. And that's the thing about the Word of God. The people of God, even in Jesus' day and before then, they heard this over and over again, but they took it for granted, right?
Like Noah's Ark.
Like Noah did. Yeah, like Lot did. They took it for granted. And remember in Matthew 24-25 chapter, Jesus said it's going to be like that in the last days, as in the days of Noah and Lot, right?
Yes.
But we seem to, even as the church, take it lightly. But remember, judgment actually starts at the house of God first. Because we've been forewarned, or we can be forearmed.
Yes, yes.
And you need to remind yourself, judgment starts with us. Judgment starts with us. God takes care of his people first. Because he has to get them right, get them clean, get them together, because we are too caught up in the mix,
Yes.
aren't we?
Yes.
And we don't realize actually how good we got it right now.
Exactly.
All right. Verse 1 again. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me. Wonder what's in the vials. Do you know what's in the vials? What do you think is in the vials?
God's wrath?
God's wrath or judgment? Absolutely right. And you're exactly right. And he talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment, there you go, of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Remember that great whore is the Babylonian system, the beast system, the Antichrist system. So it pretty much is the world caught up in governing itself without God. And you can write that down. It's pretty much the world caught up in itself without God. The world caught up in itself without God. Is it like that today?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Even the church is trying to do it without God.
They are.
And they've made it a worship of self in the flesh, using the name of God, but denying the powers of God. And by that, they deny the word of God, that it must be obeyed thoroughly with all the heart. All right?
Yes.
Are you with me so far?
Yes.
So come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Anybody remember what symbolically what the waters meant?
Nations.
Or people. Or people. Yeah, nations or people. So he's saying that this great whore, this system, it's over many folks, many nations. We know that, right?
Yes.
This system that we live in uses the word international quite often. And we find that we are entangled with other countries everywhere, all over the world.
Yes.
Now that our nation has got adjusted where they can't do without another nation. For instance, when you look on your clothes tags and things you buy, What does it say? Where does it say it's made at, Jordan?
China.
Most of the time. Why come it don't say United States?
China has all the factories and warehouses.
Why they got it? Why you think they got it?
So they have all the resources.
Ah, we do too, don't we?
Not as much.
Not as much. Do you remember in the 1900s and 18 and 1900s history that we were one of the world's leading in industrial country when it came to manufacturing? We made our own clothes. We made everything in America. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
How many of you remember that through history? Now it's all shipped out overseas. We got to ask for the chips. We got to do this. We got to do that, right?
Yes.
We're dependent on others to give us the natural resources that we should have had. But we sold it all out for friendship. And that friendship is false. Now remember this, and if you don't have it written down, you should even write this down. And I've said it over and over again, but I say it again. Politics and religion have always been partners. Politics and religion have always been partners. You'll see it in the Old Testament. You'll see it in the New Testament. You'll see it in today's society. It has always been that way, and it will always be that way until Jesus comes. That's why the Lord is giving judgment to the nations, because they have usurped or lorded over the people and made merchandise of the people. Haven't we been sold under
Oh, yeah.
in America? Haven't we been treated as merchandise ourselves? In days past, you used to could go and get a job just like you could change clothes. It ain't like that no more, is it? Not at all. It used to be you could walk in and get an interview. You could walk in and fill out all your information and get a job that day. But now it's what? All what? Pretty much online?
Yes.
And
Yes.
reading the other morning, to show you everything is just a button,
Uh-huh.
they was talking about interest rates,
Mm-hmm.
job settings, educations,
Mhm.
healthcare,
Uh-huh.
real estate. They saying it's a possibility 2024 may be a turnaround.
Yeah.
They wasn't for sure. Wasn't it Yemen? What's it? Is she a German Jew?
Who?
Yemen? Is it Yemen? Yemen? She's the financial.
Oh,
It was her
the
talking.
lady with the white hair.
Yeah, with the head. Like,
That's over finances,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
finance lady.
It was her
I can't
talking.
think of her name.
It was her talking.
Yeah,
See, because we into the fourth quarter.
yeah. Janet somebody.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah,
She's saying, but she keeps saying it's a possibility. You see,
yeah,
she
yeah.
was talking about banks closing, schools closing, healthcare failing,
Yeah.
the jobs market might get better, the real estate. I said, oh yeah, so y'all already know, y'all part of it.
Yeah,
Y'all pushed the button and made things spin still.
absolutely. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I did give y'all that other sheet though, didn't I? Man, if I didn't, I'm sure behind that one.
Yes.
Everybody got that one? Oops.
What date you have on
It's
that?
called New World Order Organization Chart.
What date you have on it, sir?
I don't have a date on mine.
Date your stuff.
No, I didn't on this one. Did I give y'all that one as a printout? Yes? No?
Yes, I have it. Just gotta find it.
Not way back in the day, Diane.
No? Man, I am behind.
Way back in the day. Is that way back in the day? Or is
I
that
did
recent?
give it to y'all before.
Oh, before.
Yeah, but I thought I gave it out again recently.
I got it just back in the day.
Yeah. I thought I had it recently.
I see it there.
Huh?
Got it.
thought sure I gave y'all these two.
You did.
Yeah, you did, back in the day.
But I mean, I thought I,
Talking about the Rockefellers and the
Yeah.
eyes on the dollar.
yeah, I thought I also gave y'all the printout I had recently of this,
No,
of all of this. I said I was gonna print it out, right? That's what it was. Well, anyway, pass it around and show it anyway, Jordan. If you want to take a picture of it with your phone, do that. You're welcome to do it. This, hold on, Jordan. That page, and then I'll remind myself, my wife helped me, that page and that page, okay? Or the one you see on the board anyway. This is what he's talking about as the system that is being worked with, or what you see of the whore, the great whore that he's talking about. This is part of that system. And as she's passing that around, take a look at it. I thought sure I did that. I am slipping, y'all. Huh?
Oh, that's brown one,
I didn't say look at every page. I said,
take it all today.
I said look at the 2 pages.
Oh, Father, all today.
So y'all can't blame that one on me.
Yeah, you said the first 2 pages.
She
Yeah,
didn't hear it.
she didn't hear it.
Okay, so that's what that is.
Yeah.
Look, it's one page, it's the first page.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wanted you to also look at, but that one's on the board up
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Well, that must be at one of my other bags.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not-
Bear with me while y'all looking at that.
You're not gonna put out, will you?
Hmm?
You're not gonna use the.
No, I just want to see if I thought I printed it wrong. That's why I wanted
My other one first. It must be in my other bags.
I try to have it prepared for y'all. I'll slip. I'll slip.
Pack all your stuff. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate it. You pack all your other stuff too. You got it, you pack all your stuff too. Oh, Diane, you make me tired. You got it.
Well, y'all talking to me, or
Yeah, I
y'all
see.
talking to each other?
Diane found her. I thought I
She
had
found
her.
her?
If so, it's at home.
Yeah.
Well, this is all the stuff Papa and Grandmother.
I know. I thought I packed all of my stuff. I thought I did, so it must be in something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm slipping, y'all. Well, next week I'll try to have it anyway.
Mm-mm.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, mine must be in another bag or folder or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got the book of Daniel's papers and all that stuff.
Yeah. But take a snapshot of it with your phone for now. Y'all can do that, right?
I found mine.
Oh,
Y'all make me tired.
so you got yours?
That ain't right. I can't find mine. See?
So how many you keep y'all
I
a
do,
note
I do.
and got a notebook
I do.
with all your?
I do, but I think some of my papers are at home.
I always
Some of them
bring
fell
it
out.
when you come to class.
Well, no, but there's some.
Bring it when you come to
See,
class.
Okay.
Yeah, I must have my stuff in more than one
Yeah.
deal.
So, Fonda Rick, y'all don't have it either? Okay.
Just
So-
recent stuff.
But anyway, make you all a notebook, cause from time to time we'll regurgitate a lot of
I
this.
got notebook from the basement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now you need a modify it where it makes sense to you, right?
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Right?
That's right, Doctor. Yeah, that's what that is.
That's what that
Change
is.
Bibles, we change bags.
So, Cherie don't have one either, huh?
Let's see. See three, yeah.
Uh-huh.
See some more stuff.
But, all right. So, if you looked on that sheet, you would see a lot of familiar.
That's okay.
Hmm?
That's okay.
You would see a lot of. Let me see that one. You looking at?
That's
I'll take a
down here.
picture.
Okay. See if I got. Look on my scanner over there. You know how to do a printer, don't you?
Then make a copy of it.
Just see if it's got the paper. Yeah. Well, let me do it real quick, just in case, because you'll have to
Well,
cut
no,
it
I
on.
don't have mine here today.
Cut it on.
At home. Well, I bought something, I keep changing names every month. I keep changing stuff. I found shoes in each bag. Mail.
Where's your paper at? You probably put the paper behind there. Well, I guess who all don't have it, just Fonda and Rick.
Downstairs.
Anyway, look and see if you can operate it. If it's got the, if not, don't worry about it.
You don't have it. Okay,
So just cut it back off.
okay, go.
Next week I'll have it for you. All right. But all those that do have them, you're familiar with that, right? And if you look at your sheet and you all that are passing around, y'all probably saw a lot of names that were familiar even today, right? Those that you see are all caught up today with the government as well, right? And some of those names you realize are also connected with politicians, right?
Yes.
And those government officials have sold out the American companies to have their own sort of deals. Y'all know the system, how it works, right? Am I right? Everybody familiar, right? Well, a lot of this that is going on, we don't realize how deep it has gotten and how involved we are without knowing that we're involved. Because we are somewhat the puppets that are used through the system for the rich man to keep getting rich and the poor get poor, put us in classes like the poor, the middle class, and the upper class and the rich, right?
Yes.
Well, now they're doing working on doing what? Getting rid of the middle class. If you get rid of the middle class, what do you have left?
Poor.
You're either rich or poor, right? Do you see how the medians of our financial status and classes in working class in America has changed?
Yes.
Anybody ever looked at that a report of that and see how different it has been in the last what, 10 years, Eve? You looked at it? Is it changed a lot?
Yes, it's one of the, it's black guys. One's, I think he used to work in stocks,
Uh-huh.
and pretty much all three of them have to do with like money management and financing.
Okay.
And so they're pretty popular now, but like they pretty much what you used to say in the past, like there's not going to be a middleman.
Yeah.
Either you have it or you don't.
Right.
Financial wise, depends on what bracket you fall in, but they've been saying that probably for the past 6 months, how things are changing.
And that's absolutely right. Now, even with that, remember, some of you remember and may have heard when Sister Mary brother was alive, that she was saying that there won't be no more schools. Now we seeing that stuff really come alive, aren't we?
Yes.
Now listen, if you don't have an education, what does that mean of your job status? Jordan, what does that mean?
You don't have a good job.
You don't have a good job or no job at all, right?
That's a myth. That's a myth.
It is? Okay.
Education means nothing anymore for
Okay.
us.
For us.
For us,
Okay.
it's a myth
Okay. In which way?
because that's what they tell you. Like
Okay.
they're telling our dear young people, you get your education
Yeah.
and you go in there and go to school.
Yeah.
Some degrees.
Uh-huh.
You see, they shouldn't say degrees. They should say certificates.
Oh, well.
Your degrees means nothing.
Not
'Cause
like
they
it
want
used
to know
to.
what you know.
Yeah.
If you can't implement,
Yeah.
if you can't put it out there, it means nothing. And furthermore, what we're taught in school
Mm-hmm.
is not what they offer you on the jobs.
Yeah.
So therefore, they can use it
Mm-hmm.
by pressing us back down
Mm-hmm.
without paper.
Okay.
Without paper. You can be the only one, as y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the only one in the department with doctoral degrees,
Mm-hmm.
but you still are under somebody.
Yeah.
And some of the ones where you're under don't
Mm-hmm.
have no degrees at all.
Sure.
So it don't mean nothing for us.
Okay.
It's all
Well,
who-
I'll
it's
put
all
it like
who you
this.
know.
It does mean something, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have the effect as
Yeah.
it should.
Yeah.
I think over time, it still plays a heavy weight.
Oh, yeah.
It still plays a heavy weight.
Yeah.
I think at this point, certificates help,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still letting people in with degrees, and it also depends on your profession.
That
where
makes-
you're going. So if
That
you,
makes the whole
depends on your
difference.
profession. So if you just
Right.
got a regular degree, then it is what it is. But
Yeah.
it depends on what you're going to school for.
That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The skill set. The skill set makes the world of a difference in the status of your job as well. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Because, take for instance, one of the most high-rated jobs that there is in demand is usually in what field? What fields?
White collar.
Technology,
Healthcare.
healthcare, and what else?
Finance.
And finance. Those are mostly the leading ones.
Yes.
Right.
But listen, the overflow of the skill set depends on if you specialize in something. If you specialize in something, then yeah, you can get a pretty good job. But if it's the common, core skill set, let's say bank teller or just regular finance, accounting, then listen, they don't give you that skill set. That money salary range like they used to. Cause why? It's so common. But when you are specialized in that field, then you can almost write your paycheck. But how many of us are specialized in the field because we're not told a lot of those things, and a lot of those things they have already put other races in, right? And then when we get in, they sure enough not going to say, okay, we want you to have our job. You're going to stay where you at, if at all. If you do, excel, you'll only get so far because they only going to let you get so far now. That's the case.
That's the case. And see now, that same lady, that's Yangman or whatever.
Janet
Now
Yellen.
Now she's saying, when they went door to door to do our sensors,
Uh-huh.
okay, so they know how many people in the neighborhood that's educated.
Yeah,
When you get hired, they already know all those steps.
yeah,
They know how you pay your bills.
yeah,
The number one key is keep your utilities on.
yeah. Absolutely.
They find out what your credit scores are, and they can oust you with a credit score.
Mm-hmm.
Working with some young people right now,
Mm-hmm.
they won't give them the job because of their credit score.
Yeah,
They won't let them get into an appointment because of their credit
Sure.
score. Or they let you in,
sure.
but they double the fees.
Right.
They making, how do you say?
Merchandise of you.
Of the people.
Yeah,
Okay, and especially the young people.
Absolutely.
You see, because they have to be taught
Yeah.
how to manage their money.
right.
It's good to party.
Yeah,
It's good to have entertainment. It's good to have socialization.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we have to understand if we don't have it, take a seat.
mm-hmm.
Stay home. Learn the skill to start a project,
Mm-hmm.
crochet, whatever you have to do.
Mhm.
See, because the Bible calls us sluggers.
Yeah.
We're going to hang out there on the fence one day
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't handle our business.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we put the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And see what it is, they're looking and they're watching every little bitty thing. You see, but the Bible tells us.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he did when he made us.
Mhm.
He already knew. But the thing is, he still gave us space.
Yeah,
So we still can't complain
yeah,
because there's some things we're still doing.
yeah.
Let's go with my eating habits and all that, which
Sure.
is wrong. But God still gave me space.
Mhm.
He still blessed me. He still blessed our group of people. He has blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Pressed down, shaken together, running over.
Yeah,
But the thing of it is, we feel that we're targeted,
yeah,
you see. But sometimes it's how we carry ourselves, our thinking process,
yeah.
what we do, where we go, all those things come into pocket. Every
Sure.
time we use our social security number come up in the system,
Oh, yeah.
then we're telling our business.
We as people, period, not
Yeah.
just black, but
Yeah,
all races, are creatures of habit.
absolutely.
And we get comfortable in a zone of doing what is, we say, we always do.
Yeah,
That's common, right?
that's right.
So there's habits that are in the data system
Mm-hmm.
that it will be easy to trace it through the data, right?
Yes.
I can pick up a script or program to pull out that data of your habit
Absolutely.
of where you go, because on your phone it traces everything. Everything is traceable, right?
Yes.
And almost everywhere you go, and this is why sometimes it's a sad shame and some almost a lie that sometimes they can't find people or missing children, because if they really wanted to dig in deeper with all the data we got out there, with all the cameras we have, with all the technology we have, we could trace it if we really wanted to. But if it ain't important, who cares? Right? If I can get, just like Israel doing with their bombing system, if I can pinpoint a person on the ground, Rick and from up in the sky, 2,000, 2,300 feet in the sky, I can pinpoint a person carrying a gun and use a rifle or a drone to come down and hit that. Why come I can't find the missing kid? That's right.
It's not important.
If I want to. If it was important to me, right? But if it ain't important to me, it's off my radar. Correct?
Yes.
And then eventually, yeah, they can get lost in the system. But then you say, oh man, we don't have the man-hour, the manpower for that. Why? Because it ain't
It's
important.
not important.
We don't want to spend that kind of money on that. But we'll spend money on Entertainment. We'll spend money to guard the president, and we'll spend money to guard an entertainer, right?
Yes.
Cause why? That's
Money
important.
making money.
How many of you that don't have the sheet took a picture of it? How many of you? Go back to that picture or sheet if you got it. I want you to see something real quick. Good catch. The top portion of that, what's one of those names right under the, I think it said the Illuminati? What did it say? What's that name? Say it loud. Rothschilds. What else is under there? Name just 2 or 3 more.
Disney, Reynolds, Russell.
Okay, what are all those mostly? How many of you ever watch PBS stations? Do you ever see all the sponsors'
Yes.
names?
All wealthy.
If you look on those, most of those that are on there are there. They have bought the entertainment world. How does America profit with entertainment? You can answer that one. Is entertainment one of those high profit industries? Job systems and all that?
Yes.
Why is it so?
Well,
Why would you say it is?
like movies, they can make a lot of money from that.
Okay.
But like,
Disney.
and ads.
Ads, yeah. Promotions.
Yeah, promotions.
Yeah.
Sponsorship.
How many of us realize how much entertainment has played in our own lives?
Absolutely.
Hmm?
Absolutely.
In our children's life?
Yes.
How much have we spent on it?
Yes.
Remember before there were Netflix and all that, there was Blockbusters and all that? How many of us bought that company? Huh? How many of us pretty much had stock in it for our children and for ourselves even, right? How many of us had some type of entertainment that we wanted to have to pacify our minds, right?
Yes.
Take our life off the world problems for a while, right? Off our own problems. Do you realize that entertainment is a good play for the devil, isn't it?
It is.
Because in the entertainment world today, how much of it is utilized for real saving purposes? Teresa?
How much, you said, how much entertainment is worth saving purposes?
It's used for saving
It's
purposes.
used for saving.
Mhm.
Saving what?
Saving us.
No.
Oh, you mean salvation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was thinking about putting in the storage or
No,
something.
no. Okay, it's for salvation. That's
Okay.
good. So,
I would say depending on, because there are people that can't come to church.
yeah.
And that, can use the internet and the social media
Okay.
platforms
Yeah.
Okay.
to get to salvation. I mean, to get to teachings and the ministries and preaching. Whether they be right or wrong, some of them might be right.
Yeah.
But for those purposes, that would be, good for them.
Okay.
For the people that can't go or aren't in areas that can drive or transportation or whatever.
But if you was to put it on a percentage of all the entertainment, how much percentage would you give that?
0.5%.
Like
A third
one
of a
half
half-
of a
third
1%?
of a half of a minute percent.
So it would barely be traceable, right?
But yeah, not even worth talking about really.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. See? So how much of that is utilized that we use of it?
For saving purposes?
Yeah.
But we make nothing of
It said-
Say what?
it. For saving purposes?
Yeah.
We don't use none of that stuff for saving purposes.
See, but how much are we caught up in then?
About 89.
See, that's the difference, isn't it? So, who's training us
The world.
as Christians? What are we letting training us? Do you get what I'm saying? What you put in comes out, doesn't it?
Yes.
Am I a witness?
Yes.
Are you a witness?
Yes.
You a witness, George? Because why? Okay, if you see an entertainer wearing something that you like, what do you say?
I like that.
I like that. Then what do you do sometimes?
Look up
Jo-
the brand.
Jordan, look it up, right? And then if it looks close to what they wearing and you think it's affordable, what do?
You're gonna buy it.
You're gonna buy it.
I'm sorry.
You're going to go to Amazon, you're going to go to somebody, right? And buy it, right? So what I'm saying is it's so easy for us to get caught up in that. But then when it comes to saving souls and using that portion of it, a lot of us are weary because there's so much of it false. Am I right? And we don't see where it's really going because we see that those that are mostly using it are making profit off it. Correct?
Yes.
For instance, when you look on, TBN? TBN and CBN, I think it's called.
Store or something.
Yeah, the Christian stations that are on TV, what are most of them doing when it comes to entertainment?
Money.
What are they doing? Anybody?
Marketing.
Selling stuff, marketing,
Marketing.
right?
Yes.
How much of it is usually affordable to us? Huh? It done got ridiculous. Hello?
Yes.
And most of the time when you get it, it ain't what it's supposed to be anyway. So listen, the Christian entertainment has utilized the world processes to make money. And they realize a lot of R&B stars turned over to what? Christian, to gospel, because they found they can make money in it just as well. So it's not about the message no more. It's about,
The beat.
huh?
I said the beat.
The beat or the meat or the treat. But you see, what I'm saying, when you look on that chart that I just showed you, this chart, all of that, that's at the top. Because, why? The devil knows the devil is the greatest entertainer in the world.
Nobody in the room knows it but Carl and I.
Okay.
The Rothschild store was downtown Kansas City.
The Rothschilds?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember that, Sister Bounce?
Child, look here.
That was a class of class, wasn't it?
But hey, I went in there, honey. I surfed the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Wolf Brothers,
Yeah.
Horsfelds.
Yeah.
You see, the deceased ex-mayor Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
See, him and Sandy was in the part
All of that. Yeah.
all that was my boss.
Right.
And see, they was a part of that. When
Yeah.
you look at his
Mm-hmm.
history of what he put up and helped bring up in Kansas City,
Right.
see, all that stuff been knocked down and went the other way.
Sorry about that.
You see,
Uh-huh.
but it was a lot of those wealthy people here. That's what happened to downtown Kansas City, the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there was no such thing as the Bill of Overland Park. That was non-existent. It was
Okay.
the plaza in downtown Kansas City. Waldorf,
I
they
remember
Waldorf
them.
on there.
Waldorf.
Yeah, our
Waldorf.
grandmother shopped at that place down there, Waldorf or Waldorf
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. They took us in those stores. And we wasn't really allowed in there back in the day.
Okay.
The blacks wasn't.
So now, saying that, look at some of those that are up there, like Disney. Disney, when you think of Disney, what do you think of?
The mouse.
Cartoons.
The cartoons, the children, right?
Exactly.
So now, how much is that utilized on the children? Now it's the family packet, right? And everybody part of it. But now it done got the adults involved because now they got, all those Star Wars and
Well, now it's worse than that. I mean,
Yeah.
they have the theme park is for the adults, kind of
Yeah.
like Universal Studios. But now, I mean, the past year, a lot of Christian parents don't let their kids watch it
Yeah.
because now the movies and the cartoons they interchange.
Adult
Yeah,
stuff.
they have open for the transgender and it's
Yeah.
okay for kids.
So
to
they
date.
put their stuff in there.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is entertainment is the way to always draw people, right? If you go to a church, most of the people don't come to hear the preacher, they come to hear what?
The entertainment.
The choir, right?
Yeah, and the organist.
And,
drummer.
or somebody sing, especially if they're famous, right?
Yes.
They come for that. And then what do you get? You may get 30 minutes of preaching, but nobody's really going to stay for that because they want the entertainment, right? And if you do get a famous preacher, say like T.D. Jakes or somebody, they're going to put on a performance and the music is going to back it up, right? So you ain't thinking about the message. You thinking about what was so, oh man, did you see what he had on? That kind of stuff. It's not about salvation anymore. It's about attracting your soul for the desire that you want to feel. Feelings. It's going on feelings. Am I right? Hello?
Yes.
Why do I need to feel good enough for somebody to pass out and give them smelling salts? Have you ever seen that before, Joy?
I don't think they do that no more.
Yeah. Well, yes, they do.
Oh, they do?
They do it all the time. But the point is, there's another spirit that is attracting us in the world that's from the devil, that's making merchandise out of us, and we fall for it easily because we are hooked up in the system ourselves. We've got comfortable.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Listen, how much do we concentrate on prayer than anything else? How many of us can say less than everything else?
That's right.
How many of us can say that? Prayer is less than everything else. We'll read, we'll listen, we'll hear it played, or however it's given to us. But when it comes to prayer, then what happens? Prayer is personal,
It is.
right? But how much is that given? Are we given to it?
Unless the heart has been trained.
Yeah.
The heart and the mind. That's where the pray without ceasing come in there.
Yeah. It has to be a desire.
If God have already instilled that, because
Right.
it was a desire.
Right.
If it's already there, it's a constant prayer. As they say, the prayer wheel is always turning.
Right. So what I'm getting at, everything is pulling us away into the Babylonian system, into the world system, into the Antichrist system, and we unknowingly are falling for it when we should be watchful for it. But we're not, because we made ourselves gullible to, oh, that ain't going to stop me. I'll get back to doing what I need to do. But guess what? When I say, well, I'm going to go seek the Lord, what usually happens, Sister Pounce? Something else. What happens, Fonda? Cherie?
Scrolling on social media.
Yeah. We can name anything but prayer, but seeking God. And guess what? What do we need the most?
Prayer.
Prayer. The thing we need the most, we're slacking and lacking to do. Am I right?
Yes.
Because, and then when we get down there to pray, how deep are we into it? It's one thing getting down to pray, it's another thing praying.
Because if you praying, it's one-on-one.
Yeah,
But if you say I'm going to get in prayer,
yeah.
or I'm going to go seek the Lord, the mind is troubled
Racing, yeah,
from the beginning.
yeah,
So everything is going through your mind.
absolutely.
So you're not really seeking the Lord.
Yeah,
Because
You
those
just
thoughts
there.
Those thoughts are pattern is overtaking
yeah,
what you're supposed to be doing.
yeah. So we got to get back to a mindset where we focused. How many of us can remember a song back in the day, word for word?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we can't
Even the
remember what.
dances.
But where's that scripture? Where's that scripture?
Even the clothes.
We can hear the music, but we can't hear God.
That's right.
Are you getting the point? What are we focusing on? We've got to get something to push ourselves toward the right thing. Because we're pushing ourselves toward the wrong thing. It don't take much to do that.
No.
Am I right? Somebody say, let us go shopping. I'll pay for it. Man,
I'm on it.
I'm moving slow now, but I tell you, I can double time. Right? But they say, let us go to the house of the Lord and seek the Lord. Okay. And then what? We got an excuse, right? Oh, you know what? I forgot I got such and such and such. Right? Am I right? Somebody mentioned to you, Sister Diamond used to hit us all the time, didn't she? She said, honey, you been seeking the Lord? She already knew we hadn't. We'll tell her, yes, ma'am. She said, you lying. She told you lying. She knew we was.
And then she'd say, honey, that his is how it's done.
Yeah.
She would laugh at you because the Lord always told her you lying.
Yeah.
You telling the story.
Yeah.
See,
She said, honey, Mama know you ain't seeking the
she
Lord.
knows that.
She said, but let Mama tell you something.
That's
She'll
right.
talk gently and sweet to you. But she said, you need to get down to business,
I do
son,
it.
because the devil wants you. And you know, when they said something like that, the devil get right in. You know, we hold him not to get upset because we know we've been found out. That's the deal. The point that God is trying to get us to see is that we're selling our soul to the devil when we don't get down to business with God. And we don't see how weak we are. They used to say, weak as water. That's what we are like when it comes to our soul and salvation. Because when you're in trouble, what did you say earlier? When they're in trouble,
They find you.
they find you.
You say, well,
Yeah.
my number's been in their phone all this
Yeah.
time.
Sometimes you have-
from them years.
Yeah, sometimes you call them up. Why I haven't talked to you in a while. Oh, I lost your number.
No, not if they're in trouble. They
But
find you.
when they're in trouble, they, oh, you found my number, huh?
Yeah, that's the thought you have.
Yeah.
Because I mean, your heart go
That
out.
too.
Like I said, your heart go out for them because they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's detrimental.
It's true.
You know, but again, but the thought,
Yeah. The point is, why do we wait till we get in trouble and then call on God? Huh? It shouldn't be that way often, which it is now. It shouldn't be that way. Because if we were watchful unto prayer, if we had any fear of God, we would run to a place of solitude to talk to God. Because it's important, saints, for me as well as you. You don't always have to be on your knees to talk to God, but that is the best place.
that's right.
Yet, there's got to be a communication. Prayer is communicating with God. So when you pray without ceasing, you can be anywhere.
That's true.
Talk to God.
Absolutely.
Lord, I've been idle. Lord, I looked at the wrong thing. I said the wrong thing. Will you help me, Lord? It don't have to be a long, drawn out
No.
30 minutes, 40 minutes. But listen, the more you get into it, the more quality time you're going to find you got. It's just like when you got a person you miss being around for a long time and you haven't seen them. Well, you can think of all things to talk about. Am I right? If you really like them or love them, or if you really love them, then you don't have to worry about it. Rick, when we first found our lovey-doveys, we didn't have to think of what to say, did we?
Talking then.
Huh? Now, we had a conversation. They was like, man, are they going to get out this phone? Look,
After
They've
a
been
while,
on
they
here
don't
60
talk no
minutes,
more.
1 hour,
After
2
a while,
hours.
Y'all shut it all the way down. Don't have much to say.
I say a lot in my sleep.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But anyway, the point is,
Secret.
the relationship, it's still got to be developed. Correct?
What you be the one?
Develop more.
Yeah.
It has to still be something that makes the, what's on the end of a firecracker? The fuse. It's got to be lit. You got to keep it lit, ready.
So it's kind of like Ed this morning. He bought these two, he be shopping on that federal websites and different estate sales, and he bought these two automatic scooters, inside the house that supposedly for Gina and Uncle Mike.
Uh-huh.
Neither one of them got them. But anyway, he rolls up. I'm sitting at the dining room table this morning. He's on it riding through the house. Rolls up. Hey, baby, you want to get on my three-wheeler with me? And we can ride through the house. I looked at him like, and he just ran out. Oh, this thing is so much fun. In the house, just riding around. But I mean, it was so funny. He's so silly.
Uh-huh.
But that's kind of like you were saying.
Yeah.
He put a little spark
Yeah.
on it,
He gonna sell them.
Yeah.
He ain't come with no food on that scooter, so I wasn't paying him no attention.
He didn't have no cereal on it, did he? But you see,
That was funny.
we got to make it. We got to make it exciting. When we first got married, when we first dated, make the flame there.
Yeah.
When Jordan was a kid, when Sharana was a kid, it's still, the relationship's still good, right? You still cool, right?
Because she's the boss.
Oh well, she always gets her way somehow, right?
Right.
But you understand, we got to keep that communication going to understand one another, right? Somewhere, somehow. I didn't say it had to always be going talk.
No, you don't.
But sometimes it can be just a look.
That's it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a touch. But you know that person well enough what makes them tick. Correct? Shouldn't it be that way with us and Jesus? Hello?
Yes.
I don't know what the Lord wants from me. Yes, you do. What did he tell you he wanted?
He wants you.
My heart. Yeah, your heart.
Whole body, mind, and soul.
He said, give me your whole heart. Right? Hello? When we fell in love with somebody, is that what we did? We were silly and giggity and all of that. Right?
Whether it was long distance or not.
Yeah, that's right. But it occupied our time. It occupied our space. We was vulnerable. We were open. We were even gullible. Let's put that love towards Jesus more than we are, because he loves us to death.
The thing is, the world, they are dedicated.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're dedicated to the God in the heavens, but the atmosphere is false.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
teachings
A form
are
of.
false.
Yeah.
But they're dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
They're dedicated.
Oh,
One of
yeah. They
those
put
churches,
everything in it.
They don't miss a beat.
Nope.
Whatever the program
perfected.
reads, they're part of it.
It's perfect.
They really are part of it.
Yeah.
And you see, but when it comes to truth, God is truth.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't treat God like
That's
we do
true.
Satan.
That's right.
Satan was kicked out.
Yeah.
But if you be honest, 99.9, Satan is the world's friend.
Oh, yeah.
You're more dedicated to Satan and doing the will of him than you are of the Creator.
Right.
The Creator's not exciting enough.
No.
So, you
We
see,
got the additives.
yeah. Jesus himself, and following him and serving him, and let our whole heart, mind, body, and soul elevate to him, and what's been taught and teaches, and getting really into it like we do everything else. That's not what happens
Yeah.
in truth. But in falsehood, in the other churches, they come in droves.
Yeah.
I mean, and they are
Bro.
dedicated. Those people and the older people there
It's a broad
dedicated.
way.
They really
Yeah.
back their
Yeah.
pastors, their church, and their beliefs.
It's
They will
professional.
fight you for it.
Yeah.
They will fight you for it. They will argue you down if you say something against their pastor or their
Oh, yeah.
beliefs.
Yeah,
You know,
they will.
when it comes to truth, that's why come the Bible reads, the Broadway is crowded.
Yep.
Well, what do you mean? They say the broad. What do you mean when you say the Broadway is crowded? Well, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a crowd.
Right.
It's a crowd for Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift, it's a crowd for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when it comes to God, and He owns everything,
Right.
everything we have. But God is boring
Mm-hmm.
until we need Him.
Right.
Like that text message I got, I didn't know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, found the poor guy.
Right.
Had been gone 3 days, dead
Right.
3 days.
Yeah.
Didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
But either way, you just never know. You know, but the family has to gather together, gather
Mm-hmm. Sure.
around them. But the dedication, when it comes to Jesus, is just not,
It's not
there.
there.
This is why Sister Diamond would say to us,
Mm-hmm.
and Sister Mary would say it to them, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you how it's done.
Right.
But you got to be able to listen.
Gotta listen.
When they depart from you,
Right.
where are you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you really receive what they said?
Mm-hmm.
But we can say, yes, we did, which was a blessing. We received it because we did something about it. That's why come the Satan saying was, put into action what you've heard.
Right.
When I go to that job and they said, you're hired,
Mm-hmm.
they give me the whole printout of what I'm going to be doing, all my stats. Well, I got to put something in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to learn it. The Bible told me to learn of Him.
Right.
If I really love the Lord, I have to learn of Him.
Mm-hmm.
Not just come to Him when I'm in need,
Right.
but learn of Him.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, I'm weak. I'm
Yeah.
lowly. He's
Yeah.
weak, God's lowly. And that's how He wants us to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many things that He asked me to be, that He's trying to teach us. We can be that. But am I listening?
Yeah.
Am I receiving it?
Yeah.
I want something, but everything I want, if we think about it, is all His.
It's all His.
It's nothing in this world don't belong to the Lord. Nothing.
True.
Nothing. No thing. No job, no clothing, no body, no nothing. No
Right.
heart, no surgeon. Nothing. It's all
Yeah.
the Lord's.
Yep.
But that's not the way the world see that.
Yeah.
You see, except for when we need Him, or we broken, or we torn.
Right.
Well, God was torn and broken first.
Mm-hmm.
He wept. God wept.
Mm-hmm.
He repented that He made man.
Right.
And when you think about that, how pathetic.
Yeah.
God made us, and we treat Him the way we treat Him, like we our own. We can skip to Malou and go where we want to go, do what we want to do, because we think we belong to ourselves, but we don't.
Right.
But then when things crash down, or He takes His life back, then we're torn and we're broken,
Absolutely.
or we crippled. We're torn and we're broken because we got to look up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But God said, love me.
Mm-hmm.
Keep my commandments.
Right.
Follow me. But that's not what the human family wants to do,
True.
because He's not important.
True.
You see.
And this is something that if you realize it, if it takes this little to get me off, what's going to happen when it does get worse?
No,
Because it's going to get worse. Y'all know it's going to get worse, right?
you're going to be
We
torn and
know that.
broken.
It's going to be sad.
Who you
But-
going to call on?
Because God is warning us before it happened, and yet we're not heeding to the warning because we're so caught up in us. Listen what He says here, back to the scripture. We read verse 2. I'm going to 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. The kings are the rulers, right?
Yes.
So it said that the leaders have indulged with the system of the Antichrist to get themselves prestige, to get themselves in a position where they think they don't have to worry about nothing. But listen what happens. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So it's passed on to us because the system has sold out to the devil's way of doing things, and now we're dependent upon it in a way that the devil, the Antichrist system, and we don't take the mark, then we can't eat, buy what? Sell or live, period, right? So it comes to a point that we're going to realize, if we live long enough, that we're either going to follow God's way of doing it, or we're going to be caught up in the system and sell our soul to the devil. Then what happened? Well, if I still sell my soul to the devil by taking the mark, then what's going to happen when I still get my food? I still get a place and a roof over my head. What's going to happen after that? What do I have to worry about?
If you're going to lose it.
Yeah. So eventually it's going to be taken away, right? But what else do I have to worry about?
Going to hell.
Going to hell, where I'm going to spend eternity, right? Because sooner or later, it's going to end. Nothing on this earth is made to last. And I've got to tell myself, those things that I'm dependent on now, they're not made to last. But I'm dependent on them like as though they're lasting, going to last me all my life. It's going to be like this all the time. That's a false hope. Only thing will last is Jesus. Am I right? But we're not focused on that, like you said earlier. We're focused and hooked up on the things that the world has to offer, because that's what we were told. You hear those commercials said, made to last forever. You buy something, y'all heard some of those? That thing, you get it, is already broken sometime. Am I right? So we realize that we've been sold a lie, but we bought it. It cost us. Did it not?
Yes.
We paid for a lie. And how many of us also realize sometimes we buy something like that and you want your money back? It's so hard to get it back. A lot of times, isn't it? Huh? We're selling our soul for a life or a period of time that is not going to help us as we think it will. Listen what he says back in Revelation 17, verse 3 now, right? So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. What's the wilderness?
The world.
And I saw a woman sit up on a scarlet-colored beast. You already got a problem here, don't we? Full of names of what? Blasphemy. What does that tell me right there? That it's already against God.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns. This is the system. This is what you see on this sheet even. This is part of it. Is this alive and ticking today?
Yes, it is.
Every part of it? It's a lot of these companies that are on here, part of our everyday life. Are they not?
Yes.
Are we not dependent on it somehow, some way?
Yes.
But we never think that we're caught up in it because we're not looking at it the way God is trying to show us to look at it. But if we dependent, some people are dependent on, they got a house, they got a car, this is my life, this is all about it. But who gave us that? Who's going to take it away?
Because it's his.
Yeah. It's not made to last forever.
No.
Because we're not.
No.
You die, some other nut going to get it. Right? We got to look at it as Job did. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be his name. Focus on what God is doing for you and make good of what he's given you to do for him. That's the point we're losing out as saints of God. We're making everything about us and not about God. And we're getting caught up in it. Verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. It sounds like Christmas, don't it? having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Look at this. All the world is offering us is everything that is not of God. But we're falling for it.
Absolutely.
And up on her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. Displaying itself as though I'm the answer to all your problems. And we, a lot of times, believe that, don't we? How many of us have fell for a lot of ads? Huh?
Yes.
I'm going to try it. It says this, and it says that, and it says this. And for that price, it ain't too bad. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go ahead. And you get it, and then you say, I want my money back. Huh? It's so easy to get caught up in it because it's always thrown at us, is it not? It's as though they listening. Are they? Before you think about, man, I was thinking about buying such and such. All of a sudden that pop up on your phone. Have y'all had that happen?
Yes.
You know what? The system is feeding what you're saying right in your mic. This is part of AI. This is part of technology, is it not? And guess what? The next thing you know, oh man, I was just talking about that with so and so. That's because they listening. They want what you got to offer them. Correct? And you wasn't even really needing it. You just was thinking about it. But it's mentioned. You type something on your computer, same way, is it not? You look back. How many of you ever look back on your history on your browser? You never looked at it? Anybody ever looked on the history or no?
Oh, yeah.
What do you find on there?
What you did last.
How far did it go back?
It's a long list.
Where do it locate?
It's a
How,
long.
it traces your every move. And Google's got it down, don't they? Huh? I got some stuff back there 10, 12 years ago that I went to, and I said, man, it had the time I went there, how long I'd spent there. I was like, what? But how many of us really pay attention to all the info we've given away?
Can't stand it.
We were sitting at the table one day recently, and my cell phone was laying there, but I didn't have it on or anything else. We were eating it. So once we got to our scripture and our conversation, I happened to pick up the phone and turn it on. Every word
Yep.
that he said, that I said, was
on
on
there.
that phone.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to hit your whether it's Siri or whatever it is. It'll pick it up. It'll automatically kick in sometimes. Have y'all had y'all to do that?
This is why when you
Turn it
have
off. Turn the series off.
you hear about the investigations when the police is getting like the pedophiles and
Yeah.
things, they can go back no matter what you erase. They can go back and still
Yeah.
hit that IP and find out
Absolutely.
what you have.
When I used to work at the telephone company, I was in surveillance. And that's exactly what we did. Somebody call in, they have to get an order. The police have to get an order to trace the phone. Now they got it a little bit better than that. We could trace it all the way down and take, retrieve what you said, everything, every place you've been, if we wanted to.
Because they try to be like the Most High God.
Yeah, yeah.
God hear every word, whether it be idle, whether it be spiritual.
Yeah.
God hears it all. And I have to learn and to continue to learn and remember.
Yeah,
I got to give an account
that's it.
for every idle word.
That's it. But we fear what the phone and technology and man can do, but we don't fear what God can do. We got to realize God sees more than what that sees
Absolutely.
and knows more than what that knows. Throw away your phone and see how your life go. Anybody willing to do that today?
Step on it and crush it. I'll put it in the wash machine.
Jordan, give me your phone. I'm going to throw it away.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. I want you to.
Got the watch.
I want you to. Will you please? Don't look at mama. I'm going to
My
ask her
bills,
hers
so now
too.
she needs to look at me. My bills.
We all live by it, don't we? Every last one of us use the technology somehow, some way. How many of us have went a day without using our phone?
Landline.
How many of us?
More addicted for sure.
We are addicted, really,
We
for
have a
sure.
landline.
How many of us
The phone.
went a day without talking to God? How many of us went a day without reading the Word? See, it's more important, isn't it?
It is.
How many of us pick up our phone more than we pick up the Word? Hmm? How many of us talk to God more than we talk on our phone? We got to see it God's way.
Absolutely.
One day that's going to go away. But if God go away, then who we got?
Oh my God.
Everything is connected. The devil knows that.
Yeah.
But what the devil don't want you connect to is God. So he's taking everything that is of God and putting it out of our view and our mindset to get us hooked on the things that are temporal. And that's going to perish like us. But to keep us in the habit of doing it means that we end up stop seeking God, stop praying, stop coming to the house of the Lord. Our mind is not on the word. It's up on what we want and what words we've heard and been around. We captivated by that. We caught up in that. And it's all about social media. If it go away for the young folks and some of the old folks today, they'll die. Am I right? Just about die, won't they, Jordan? You use social media a lot?
A good amount.
A bit amount? Why you use it?
Entertaining.
Entertaining. So, would you be willing to stop it and talk to God more than the social media? Took you too long.
You didn't talk to Grandma Cheryl like that no more.
You use it?
Yes.
Would you be willing to stop it? At least stop most of it to
Yes.
talk to God? Are you working at it?
Talk to
I mean, depends on what you're looking at. I don't always look at junk though.
I didn't say what you're looking at. I just said, would you be willing?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you going to try practicing it?
Yeah.
How many of us use social media? Not because we have to, but because we want to. How many of us can break a habit, try one day going without it?
Is Google social media?
Yeah,
If I want to know
it can
something?
be.
If I'm asking
Well, I mean, it depends on how you use it
I don't
again,
use
like you
social
says.
media,
But
man.
But when you're asking questions, like trying to find something or you looking
A
for
recipe.
something, that's a little different. But when I mean social media, getting in contact and talking to somebody or talking
Not
to
at all.
chat GPT
Not at
and,
all.
different things like that. You trying to socialize without being in person.
But here's the situation when it comes to we that say we are Christians.
Mm-hmm.
If we own it
Mm-hmm.
and they decide to put it up on the screen and let people know your business,
No.
but you say you're a believer and you're a Christian, then what?
It depends. It better be a good conversation. That's all I
it
can
depends
say.
on what you own. And
Yeah.
everything you looked at and watched and then put your little tit-tat-toes on, responses.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they was a Christian.
Well, this is the thing. That's how they surveillance others still. They still do that. People can get into your box if they want to. The right person can interpret you as not as you and not being you as well. It's a lot of ways that we're vulnerable and open to it that we've exposed ourselves to and we don't even know it.
And the new name dropping.
Well, a lot of that. But the point is, we as saints of God need to focus on this in Him more than what we doing. We've sold out to the world. There were times when you and I were scared to do such things.
It was. And that's why when he asked the question,
Mm-hmm.
I know Grandma Mitchell asked me in Georgia. I said, no, we don't do social media. In Georgia, come back every time. Which one? Those, there's some of them on there.
Yeah.
Tell it to the ones that,
That's
tell it
on
to the,
there.
say it in church and tell it
She
to
said,
the
I
ones
seen
that
so and
does it.
so and so.
Because she knows that some of us in here
Yeah.
are on it, you know. And so I feel a little bad. I want to say something back, but they don't need to argue
Yeah.
because she's already arguing with me.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, we don't do.
Well, the
social
bad
media.
thing is when they say, and they were talking junk.
Yeah, we don't go on social media to advertise nothing. And she said, yeah, go on, bring it to the church, and because there's some of y'all there.
Yeah.
That,
And see, this is the point. And we'll do the little things that ain't really, we think, mattering. It exposes us to more. And listen, if you get on there once, you'll get on there again. And again, and the next thing you know is you're addicted. Because it's addicting. It's there to capture you to do such things as this. Some of y'all get on it in church. But don't
Oh,
forget,
Jesus.
God is watching
oh
us.
my God, I hope not.
Huh?
I hope we're not that bad.
God is watching us.
That's sad.
We're disrespecting God.
Absolutely.
Well, it's come through prophecy, we said it.
Yeah.
That's sad.
But the main thing we got to realize is, are we believing that? And are we realizing God's saying it? It's no need. Give God his time that he deserves. And that's usually all of it.
What did that young soul say the other night when we was half asleep? And she said the last time she was here, the prophet came and she said that he was talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what she was saying and where she was going with. She said it word from word what she said, what it said. And she said he was talking to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. God won't let you forget.
And it's been about 3 or 4 years, I think.
God won't let you forget. He'll come back and bring it back to our remembrances, though it was today.
You was talking about the cell phone. I had come to find out that it was a woman. It says hello,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know who it is. And then it said, did you hear me? I said hello. And so I was getting ready to get out of my car, and my phone dinged. And it says, I'd like to go to church with you. And I'm saying, okay, you like to go? Okay, who? I said, who is this? And so she said her name, I can't remember what it was. I said, oh, all right. So I didn't answer, so she sent me a picture of somebody from Zambia, wherever it is.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not saying nothing else. You know. Now, how did she know? She said, I would like to come to your church. That's what
Yeah.
she said. And I said, oh, well, who is this?
Yeah.
Finally, I said, well, who is this? And then so she said her name, and then she showed me a picture. You know, with a dog in her arm.
Her dog, Heaven's Father.
So I just shut it down.
A
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
See,
so
I
many.
mean,
Yeah.
You look up things on your phone for the gospel or whatever. it might be.
Right.
Yeah.
And so took it from there.
Yeah.
I'd like to come to your church. Okay, well, who is this?
The devil is shrewd when it comes to technology, especially. Because he's the prince of the power of the air. Think about that.
Like
Amen.
I say, I need a bill pay and see will they answer that.
Yeah, I'm looking for a
It
whole
won't
lot of
last
money.
long, will it?
Me and Jesus had a good conversation. I'm waiting. Showing up here.
First thing they probably do is probably bring up about a loan officer.
That's probably true too. Amen.